Yeah, 13 years ago actually in May, so it's this month, 13 years ago, I was asked to come downtown to a little church about 4 miles from here for the organization and close the church and sell the property. They had been a great church, started in 1970 by Steve Land as Mission Possible. They'd done cool stuff, but over the course of those number of years, it had whittled down to a few folks, 20 or so folks left and very little finances. And so the bishop asked me to maybe help those folks find somewhere else to worship and then sell the property if I felt like that was the right decision. 6-month assignment seemed pretty easy. 5 or 6 weeks in, we had a little prostitute walk-in service on a Sunday morning. And at the end of the service, she asked, she said, I'd like to accept Christ. So we led her to Christ. It was a really cool, emotional, moving experience. And I told Ronnie, it's cool while we're closing and selling, people are still coming to Christ. So that's a good legacy for the church. The problem was she came back the next Sunday and she brought one of her paying customers, Bill, who had been an alcoholic for more than 30 years, hadn't been in church in 30 years. And 5 minutes into the worship service, he just started weeping and said, I need Jesus. And so we led Bill to Jesus. And for weeks on end, drug addicts and alcoholics and prostitutes and homeless folks and folks getting out of prison just walked in the back doors uninvited. No marketing campaign, they just walked in and started accepting Christ and started filling the little church up. We started looking around going, who are these people, why are they here? And so after a couple, 3 months of that, I looked around and I said, well, I think maybe God, this is what he wants us to do. And she said, yeah, I think it is. And so out of her own devotion and prayer time, a few weeks later, she called and said, I think we're supposed to move to the city if we're going to win a city. And so circumstances being what they were, we ended up moving into that church, old 65-year-old church building, moved into the 3rd floor there, where we lived for 6 years with our 5 daughters. And we had, in those 6 years, we had 34 break-ins and 3 vehicles stolen, guns and knives and fist fights, and I stood up in court with guys who tried to kill me. And we loved it. It was, God had done something inside of us that just radically transformed who we were and the way we looked at life. And we ended up fostering little girls whose mothers were in prison and homeless, and we ended up with as many as 17 folks at a time actually living with us in the facility there. And we just outgrew, God just blessed, and we outgrew that facility, packed everywhere with ministry. We started all the outreaches we do. And so 7 years ago this August, we went looking for a building in the Bluff, this neighborhood we're in. Statistically, the toughest neighborhood in the state of Georgia. And a real estate guy came back, he said, hey, I found you this building. It's 8 acres of land, 5 acres under roof, 8-foot fence with razor wire and an armed guard at the gate. I said, well, heck, our dreams have come true. And so he went and asked, and they said they'd sell it to us for $1,600,000. And my counter offer was, we don't have any money. And they said they rejected my offer. So I made the same offer the next month and the next month. And on the 6th month, they accepted our offer and donated the facility. 8 acres, 5 acres under roof, donated free and clear to City of Refuge. We've been here 7 years now. Incredible impact in this community. In those 7 years, we've renovated and built out 120,000 of the 200,000 square feet. And now we run everything you can think of that relates to somebody being in crisis and getting them out of that crisis we now have. Education, food service, clothing, mental health, addiction, medical assistance, vocational training, culinary arts training program, tutoring programs. If you're in need, we probably can meet that need here. And we do all of that because we feel like God has met our needs. In our places of crisis, our places of brokenness, he did that for us. And so we live on Isaiah 58, Matthew 25. And in Isaiah 58, the fast, God said, I'm not looking for your traditional fast. Right? I'm looking for you to break the yoke of bondage, to divide your bread with the hungry, and take into your house the homeless poor. And he says, if you do these things, then your light will rise as a noonday sun. Your recovery will quickly come. And those among you, those in crisis that you've helped, will rebuild the ancient ruins into the cities they're supposed to be. And we found that to be true. And so our 6-month assignment is now 13 years in, and we fully expect it to be 26 or 39 more years. I can't imagine anything besides what we do now. And it was all a result of saying yes to a little 6-month assignment, and now God's impacted the whole city.